There's absolutely no feeling in that wheel. There's gotta be a better way. Let's see how much way too much money worth of stuff can fix my bad driving. Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in, back with another video a day till this channel hits 100K. Coming back to the iRacing setup. Now, I did a video a while ago building out the custom PC for this whole iRacing setup, getting into the Logitech TrueForce G923 with the clutch pedal, the shifter. But the problem is, I have learned really kind of quickly this Logitech G923, it's okay, but it feels like a really, really nice toy. And I mean that with all due respect. It feels like a fantastic toy. But the force feedback in this wheel leaves a lot to be desired. And I am finding that when I am doing races like I am here at Lime Rock, that I cannot just keep the car from looping. So I did a thing, and I decided to pick up all of this stuff from MOZA. This is not a sponsored video. I paid for this all myself. Now, I did reach out to MOZA and asked if I could get some product for review, and they ignored me. So I showed them and just bought all of this stuff.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
Now, I also did apply for their affiliate program, so I will link everything in the description down below. But I'm going to go through this and give you a completely unbiased opinion of what I think of this stuff as a noob into iRacing. I'm literally only a month or two into this, and I wanted to really up my game. And I also decided that I wanted to do it with stuff that was known to be really good. The other thing I wanted to do is that this AB9 force feedback base is now able to be used in iRacing. Now, I did not know that until after I bought this HGP gated shifter, and I saw this, so I decided I'm gonna order this instead, and I'm gonna return whatever one I don't like the most and go that way. I also bought a flight stick because I do also enjoy doing a little bit of flight sim, not heavy into flight sim, but I thought, man, what a great option. We'll get into this because what's awesome about it is that this is all driven by motor. You can actually change the shift pattern from like H pattern to sequential to however many gears the gearbox is, and then also have a base that you can use for flight sim. So for somebody like me who is maximizing space to the absolute fullest, that just seemed like an absolute no-brainer. I also picked up the R9 V3 direct drive wheelbase, and I haven't seen any unbiased, unsponsored reviews of this R9 V3. I think I might be one of the first people to do it. I also picked up the CRP2 pedals. I wanted to spend a little more on the pedal set. I also picked up the KS steering wheel for more of like the F1 style driving, but I personally enjoy doing a little more of like the NASCAR stuff myself. But this should basically take care of everything that I need. Now, there's a couple parts that haven't shown up yet. Number one is the shifter for the AB9 base. That won't be here till tomorrow, but I'm too excited to wait. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap all of this stuff over and see how much of a difference all of this MOZA racing stuff really makes a difference. So first, I'm going to remove everything off of the base here, which is the Next Level Racing. I love this base because it allows me to keep my office still an office and functioning in that capacity. Yank this off. This Logitech shifter, I've actually really liked this thing. With the pedal set, there's a lot of things that are kind of left to be desired, which is a huge reason why I'm going this route. Now, the ability for this Logitech to also just attach to any desktop surfaces with these built-in clamps is also really genius. So I don't hate the Logitech setup. It's just not good enough, in my opinion, for a true real sim experience. It certainly has the feel like it belongs on more of like an Xbox sort of setup and not a high-end gaming PC, which is what I did end up sort of accidentally building for myself. I just kept adding things to the cart and making sure that I wasn't leaving myself too much room for upgrading later. You know, the problem with that whole upgrade mentality is that you end up wasting a ton of money doing it. It's cheaper the first go around, and then you want to add something better. And that's the same idea with these MOZA purchases that I just made, is I hope to not have to upgrade anything for the next lot of years if I can get away with it. I just have these straps on here to help me move it back and forth across the room. Now we'll yank the pedal set off of here. Pedal set removed. Yeah, these pedals to me have just felt very plasticky and kind of toyish, and I hate the feel of the brake pedal. We'll start by installing the new ones, and I did also pick up the CRP2 clutch pedal, which I think is a necessity because driving stick and racing is just way better of an experience. Base plate. That's exactly what I anticipated. It's a much more fluid feeling pedal. That's the brake. Oh, that feels like super stiff. That's got to be the brake pedal. I think this is some sort of kick plate. Different springs and dampeners, which we'll play with that later. We'll play with it in its stock form for now. Oh, okay, so there's a module. Okay, so I do need, there's a module there. Oh, this is actually really nice. Like built-in cable management. The clutch pedal is interesting. Certainly a lot more feel to it than the Logitech. What I really love about this pedal set is that you can adjust where these pedals are. That's one thing with the Logitechs that I didn't totally love, is that the pedals felt like they were almost too much on top of each other to the point where you could accidentally hit one when you're trying to hit the other. So this is a much nicer plate. And that is a really nice setup here where basically cable management is just built right into the entire pedal plate. So all of this stuff is hidden from the top side. That is a very firm, I guess it's not so bad with your foot, but I will probably soften that brake pedal up. We'll see how it feels. Premature on that. So now we'll get the plate here mounted. Pedals installed. Now we'll get our R9 V3 wheelbase mounted up here. Now I'm really interested to see how this compares to the base on the Logitech, because I didn't really like the profile on that base with the Logitech. Wrapped up real nice. This compared to this, huge difference. I think the pedals might have been the hardest part. Don't want to jinx myself, but wheel mounted. Power supply. Not sure if this actually, I'm assuming this USB cable communicates pedal set also, but we'll keep that USB cable just in case. The part that I am most excited to see how this is either going to be the best purchase of this whole sim rig, I think, or the one that's going to be returned, because I bought this to be the shifter in place of the HGP shifter. I don't think I'll even test the HGP shifter. I may, but if this is what I think it is, I will have no reason to ever disconnect it, but we shall find out. I know it was kind of a flight sim first base, but it seems quite compelling for a shifter. Man, I do really like how they kind of wrap everything up. It's kind of like getting a new motorcycle helmet when they pull off that wrap. This thing is a monster. Definitely gonna have to lower my shifter mounting plate. All right, we are pretty well set up. And then the big difference should hopefully be this bad boy here. Feels so much nicer than the Logitech. There it is. Wow, that's so nice. Okay. And now we'll take our shift knob for now, which is not going to be ideal. Let's get all this stuff plugged in. Whew. That clutch feels great. It doesn't like that USB hub. And there's a power button on there. You idiot. Power buttons help. That's so cool. So there's a power button on these things. I was wondering why it wasn't recognizing, and it's because it wasn't on. All right, so that's updated. This is pretty darn nice. Can actually fit the Logitech inside of this MOZA wheel. It's gonna be way easier to control the car with this thing. Gotta be right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Wow, that's so wild. Configure controls. Turn the wheel fully one way and then the other. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need my shorter shifter. This feels so much better. The bigger wheel. Oh my God, this is night and day. What? That's like a brake pedal that literally didn't. Oh my God, that is so much better. Shifter, I'm not sure yet. The gas pedal is so much more linear. Oh, guys. Just took my eyes off the road. Wow. This is insanely different. Like, way better. And I need a regular shifter. It was like with the Logitech, the throttle was either 0 or 100. There was like no feathering in between, and this is just like way more control coming out of a corner. This is insane. I can actually stay in second gear through some of these tighter spots without having so much on the gas. So I felt like a couple things with the Logitech. A lot of things. I'm going to adjust this. Aside from this clutch being something I need to really kind of figure out because it has way more real clutch feel to it. There's like an actual clutch take-up that I'm not used to at all, which is throwing me off. I just turned the force feedback way up. Everything else is just so much smoother. If you can afford it, don't buy the Logitech, buy this first. Man, this is so much better. Let's just go do Talladega. I need to get some time on this, but I will tell you that the difference between this MOZA setup and the Logitech is like the difference between driving a Cavalier and a freaking Cadillac. I mean, this thing is like so much better of an experience. I don't even know how to put it into words. My overall takeaway, even just from like base kind of getting into it for just even a few minutes, is if you can afford the nicer stuff, just buy it. If you're on the fence, don't be. I mean, it's absolutely worth it. I also feel like I can hold this wheel like in a better position than I could with the Logitech because it's bigger. That force feedback is so much better. You gotta actually hold it down in the line. Even coming to a stop, the braking is, all right. So here's my assessment. The shifter, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. It feels amazing. I don't know, there's a little bit of vague feel in here that I wonder if that'll get better. But I also want to get the actual regular shifter handle on here because shifting with a freaking joystick is super weird. But with that, let's go Flight Sim base. All right, I can't get Flight Simulator to work. I'll figure this out later. So my overall takeaway on this whole setup here from MOZA, the R9 V3, this AB9 shifter, I want to love it. I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll get there. I'm going to do a little more testing on it. I'm going to wait until I get the actual shifter handle in to really kind of compare this. I think I probably will check out the regular gated shifter that I also ordered. This actually might be where it's at just because it's even smaller. It's louder, it's way louder. I don't love how loud that is because I do have my daughter in the room right next to me. That is, ow, pinch my finger. I'm going to give this AB9 a chance, and when I get that shifter knob in, I'm literally going to do a video comparing these two shifters when I can do it apples to apples. So with that said, I'm going to wrap this video for today. I'm going to put some more laps on this. Stay tuned if you're into sim racing. If you're not, sorry, but this is something that I'm super into recently. So again, with that being said, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. Man, that's wild.